Hi, my name is Mark Belage. I'm president of TorontoEntrepreneurs.ca. Thanks for watching. In this short video, I share with you some tips on making decisions effectively. As a business owner, you're faced with a number of decisions every day, every week, every month, or every year. Decisions like hiring or firing someone, office space, do you rent or do you buy a piece of equipment, what price to put on a quote, and so on. So there are many methods to make decisions, but here are a few tips that I've used over the years. Take your time. Try not to be rushed. Be independent. Make your decision independently, but also get feedback and advice from people on your team. Go away and let it sink in. Think of all the constraints, all the criteria that gets involved with the decision. But also don't get too bogged down in the details and the nitty-gritty that don't really factor into the whole meat and potatoes. There is never a perfect answer. So do the best with what you have and the information that you have. And there's always a choice of doing nothing as well. You can decide not to do anything, and that's your decision. Ask for other people's opinions, people on your team, advisors, external people who have no skin in the game. The bigger the decision, the bigger the number of people that you should be asking, and the bigger the number of people that should be in your network to decide. But make a decision one way or another and stick to it. But prepare to reevaluate. Maybe 6 months later, it may have been the right decision. Maybe it's the right time 6 months later to make that decision to do something. Admit your mistake. If you make the incorrect decision, people will always say, "Oh, I told you so, I knew." Just say, "Yes, you're right," and move on. There's no point in arguing at that point at that time. I always use a method called PQALR. PQALR. So I'll run through what those stand for. So the P stands for what's the problem? Understand what the problem is in the first place. The first Q is quantitative analysis, the numbers behind the problem. How much is it costing you? So your problem is you have a water leak. Well, how much does it cost you? That's your quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis is your Q. So any issues related to non-quantitative items, anything to do with quality, parts, etc. A stands for the alternatives. Make a list of all the alternatives. Brainstorm. Again, one of your alternatives could always be do nothing. L is your limitations. We all have limitations. It could be budget, it could be dollars, it could be resources, it could be your bandwidth, or so on. And R are your recommendations. Based on all the limitations, based on all the criteria that you have, what's your recommendation at the end of the day? So remember, when you're trying to make a decision on something, think of what is the problem that you're trying to fix. Think also with your gut. Sometimes your gut can tell you something, an answer. Depends on the person's personality, depends on a lot of factors. So keep that in mind as well. And write things down. Write all the details down. So if you're meeting a supplier and you're deciding on whether to use their services or supplies and switching from your current supplier to somebody else, write all the details down. Make sure you get them on paper. Sometimes the answer comes out of nowhere. Understand your limitations as well. Reach out if you need help. So if you're not a good accountant or if you're not good with numbers, get an accountant or that someone can help you out with making that analysis and making those decisions. And don't get bullied into making a decision, especially if a supplier is saying, "Hey, you have to make a decision by this Friday or by next week or next month or whatever." Take your time and don't get bullied. So there's always that do nothing option. I've said it 2 or 3 times during this video, because a lot of times when I've been faced with a decision, doing nothing actually seemed to be the best answer. So thanks for watching. Again, my name is Mark Belage. I'm president of TorontoEntrepreneurs.ca. Feel free to visit our website to find out information about upcoming events, as well as check out our YouTube channel, Toronto Entrepreneurs Conference and Trade Show, where you can find a number of videos on different topics that may interest you as a business owner. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe. Be well.